You think chips are just a snack? A little salt, a little crunch, no big deal. But dietitians are now calling out 7 of the most popular bags on store shelves. And what they found inside isn't just junk food. It's a mix of inflammatory oils, synthetic dyes, and additives that can quietly stress your gut and your heart every single time you eat them. And the worst part? Some of the bags that sound the healthiest are actually the most misleading. We're breaking down all 7 today so you know exactly what to avoid. Number 1, Pringles. Pringles feel cleaner than other chips. They come in a tube, they're uniform, they stack neatly, and that packaging makes your brain file them under not that bad. That perception is working against you. Take the enchilada adobada flavor. Close to 300 milligrams of sodium in just 14 chips, and Red 40 sitting right there in the ingredient list. An artificial dye flagged in multiple studies for links to inflammation and gut irritation. Most people don't count out 14 chips. They pour, they snack, and they've already burned through a serious chunk of their daily sodium limit before dinner even starts. And Pringles aren't even fried the normal way. They're pressed from dehydrated potato dough, cooked into that perfect shape, and what you get is mostly starch and salt, with no real fiber, no protein, nothing your body can actually use. That tube feels civilized. The sodium load inside it isn't. Number 2, Lay's. Lay's Classic has 3 ingredients on the bag: potatoes, oil, salt. That sounds clean, right? But the oil they're frying those chips in is canola, sunflower, or corn oil depending on the batch. And every one of those is a heavily processed seed oil that went through industrial refining before it ever touched your food. These oils are loaded with omega-6 fatty acids. Your body needs some omega-6, but when you're eating fried snacks regularly, that ratio tips fast, and nutrition researchers have been tracking the link between that imbalance and chronic inflammation for years. It's not a fringe concern. Dietitian Mary Sabat calls Lay's out specifically because of those seed oils, and she's blunt about it. Eating them consistently promotes inflammation in the body. Add GMO potatoes with no meaningful fiber or protein, and what you're holding is a bag of empty starch fried in fat. Your body struggles to process properly. 3 ingredients, real problems. Number 3, Doritos. Doritos show up everywhere: sports events, school lunches, vending machines. And because they're so normal, most people never stop to think about what's actually in them. But dietitians consistently put Doritos near the top of their avoid list, and the ingredient panel tells you exactly why. GMO corn is the base, fried in seed oils, hit with MSG, and then colored with artificial dyes. That's not one problem, it's 4 problems in a single chip. The Flamin' Hot Cool Ranch variety stacks Red 40, Yellow 6, and Blue 1 all in the same bag. And the sodium climbs even higher than the original. Your gut isn't processing food at that point, it's sorting through a chemical mix. And the flavor is engineered specifically to shut off your brain's "I'm done" signal. Food scientists call it the bliss point, and Doritos nail it so you keep eating past the point you intended, which means more inflammatory ingredients, more dye, more sodium than you realized. Number 4, Ruffles. Ruffles cheddar and sour cream feels like comfort food, and that's exactly what makes it easy to ignore. But dietitian Mary Sabat flagged this one specifically because it doesn't just have one problem, it has 3 running at the same time. You've got the seed oil base, same inflammatory fat issue as most fried chips. Then you've got the artificial flavors and preservatives packed into that cheddar sour cream seasoning. And on top of both of those, the dairy-based seasoning adds saturated fat to the fat already used to fry the chip. So you're getting hit from 2 directions at once. And those ridges aren't just about texture, they hold more seasoning per chip than a flat chip does, which means more sodium, more artificial compounds, and more saturated fat coating every single bite. At 180 milligrams of sodium per 15 chips, it adds up faster than you'd expect. No single ingredient here is the worst on this list, but few chips layer this many problems into one bag. Number 5, Cheetos. People love Cheetos. The crunch, the way the flavor hits you instantly, those orange fingers you end up with at the bottom of the bag. But that orange dust isn't doing what your brain thinks it is. Cheetos start with GMO cornmeal, get fried in processed vegetable oil, and then get coated in a seasoning blend packed with artificial flavors, artificial dyes, and preservatives. The Flamin' Hot Tangy Chili Fusion variety piles on even more synthetic color compounds. And a single serving only delivers 2 grams of protein and less than a gram of fiber. So your body gets almost nothing it can use, just a chemical load your gut has to sort through. That orange color isn't from real cheese, it's artificial dye designed to signal cheesy to your brain, even when the actual cheese content is minimal. Your brain buys it, you keep eating, and because there's no fiber or protein to fill you up, you don't stop. Number 6, Funyuns. Funyuns are named after onion rings, shaped like onion rings, and flavored to taste like onion rings. But actual onion isn't what you're eating. The base ingredient is enriched cornmeal. The onion flavor comes from artificial flavoring compounds, and while onion powder does appear in the ingredient list, it's so far down the line that you're getting trace amounts at best. What you're mostly eating is fried cornmeal with salt, MSG, and synthetic flavoring designed to approximate something it barely contains. That matters because the branding tricks your brain into filing Funyuns under vegetable adjacent. Real onions carry fiber, antioxidants, and compounds that actually support gut health. Funyuns deliver the taste signal without any of that substance, and because the rings are light and airy, you can eat a large volume fast without feeling like you've had much. So the sodium load climbs before you've even noticed how much you've gone through. Number 7, Takis. Takis built their following on intensity, and that intensity has a price. A single 12-chip serving packs 420 milligrams of sodium, more than any other chip on this list, and cardiologists are direct about what that kind of sodium load does to your blood pressure over time. That's not a small gap either. Most chips on this list land well under 300 milligrams per serving. The heat you taste in Takis doesn't come mainly from real chili peppers. It's chili powder, artificial flavoring, and citric acid working together. And that citric acid makes the chips genuinely acidic. Acidic enough to irritate your stomach lining and esophagus when you eat a meaningful amount. On top of all that, Takis contain both red 40 and yellow 6, two synthetic dyes studied for links to inflammation and behavioral effects. And the marketing aims squarely at kids and teenagers, people who aren't reading ingredient labels and whose bodies are still developing. Every chip on this list gets you a different way. Some bury you in sodium, some hit you with synthetic dyes, some fry everything in oils your body can't handle well, and some do all of it at once. The American Heart Association links regular ultra-processed snack consumption to cardiometabolic disease and higher mortality rates. That's not a minor footnote. You don't have to quit snacking. Cardiologists point to nuts, plain yogurt, hummus with vegetables, and plain popcorn as real alternatives that won't quietly stress your heart and gut every time you eat them. Subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next, because misleading labels don't stop at chips.